I watched Hyperactive for 72 hours to watch a clock. So I'm gonna write a book about it as well. It's coming out next year. It's called the 72-hour Mind Shift.
Dennis, welcome to the show. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, zeker.
Gonna high five you.
Yes, man. High five indeed.
Finally doing this. So
yes, 100%.
How did we get in contact with each other?
Well, basically I met Mark van Heijden from your former podcast. And a few months ago, really special meeting, you know. It's like sometimes you meet someone that forces you to level up, you know, that inspires you, and vice versa, you know. So I saw the podcast, and I was like, Mark, that's really, really cool, you know. Give us contact, you know. Give us contact. I have an interesting story to share with the people as well. I want to help. I want to inspire. I want to really, you know, make a difference, you know, and really help the people in the world. And with my story about love, about mindset, about, you know, having no choice, having no options, only your mindset. That's it.
Exactly. So let's get into it. So
cool.
I think one of the things we share in common is that we both faced adversity, and we basically use that in order to become a better human being.
Exactly.
So let's get straight into it. Like, share with us, what is the major thing that had a big impact?
Well, I was running a successful international direct sales and direct marketing business. Had over 9 franchises across the Netherlands, 150 brand ambassadors. Up until the 3rd of April 2014, when I was giving a presentation for new recruits, and out of a sudden something snapped in my head. It was a brain tumor the size of a tennis ball. So yeah, that's kind of interesting if you're 30 years of age, you know?
Yeah. So what happened at that moment? Like, did you collapse, or did you?
No, I finished the presentation on on autopilot, and then I went home, went to sleep, and then I called my parents actually, and my mom said on the phone, "Well, your voice, it's strange, you know. There's something wrong. We're coming to Amsterdam, you know, make an appointment." So I went to the hospital with my parents after all the tests and everything, blood tests and physical tests and everything. Nothing was shown. So she basically said, "Well, you know, just go home." Yeah. And I was traveling a lot. I was a month before that. I was in Sydney and the Gold Coast. I was invited to be keynote speaker in great events around the globe. You know, it's Sao Paulo, then to Sydney, Melbourne. You know, Dubai, and to Barcelona. You know, literally everywhere. So it was really good. I had really good. A nice lifestyle. I had a penthouse in the middle of Amsterdam. It was great. 30 years of age, 150 people, 9 franchises. Everything was going really well. You know, it's like I was living the life. You know, it's like I was making money. I was, you know, having friends, family, everything. You know, fitted. And then that thing is just so hard hitting, you know. It's like
you can do nothing about it.
No, exactly. And when the doctor said, you know, just go home, just go and have some rest, have some water, sleep well, my mom said, "No, we're not leaving. His voice is different." And she insisted. She said it 6 times. "We're not gonna leave until my son will, you know, get the right, how you say it?
Diagnosis or
Diagnose, yeah.
analysis,
Yeah.
checkup.
Yeah, exactly. So neurologic, go from neurologic come, and she did a flashlight in my eyes, and she saw a difference in my pupils. So that's bad. That's not good. So they thought, well, that's thrombose or something, dangerous, but can be easily solved with medication. And just go on the one scan. What one scan became 2, became 3, became 4 scans.
MRI scan.
MRI scans on my head. So I was brought back to a room, and then after a few hours, like whole team came in, and they said, "Well, Mr. de Graaf, are you lying comfortable?" And to my parents, are you sitting comfortable? And they said, "Well, we have bad news. Brain tumor, size of a tennis ball, and it's connected to the, how you say it, brain marrow, the stem. So it's life danger. It's like immediate life danger. You're like a walking time bomb." So we already called the other hospital, and you go with the ambulance. You go to there
To get surgery.
to get surgery. Yeah.
Okay. And how was the surgery?
Well, it's interesting. Like the whole thing in the hospital that happened was first a second opinion. Then they saw, blue things lighting up as well in my throat and my neck. So they had to take biopsies from that. So was no cancer. That's really good. But then they had to get a biopsy from the actual brain tumor. And while they took the biopsy, in the anesthesia there was a medication,
Yeah.
a medicine.
So I'm going to stop here.
Yeah.
Because this is the part I want to elaborate later on.
Yeah.
So why don't we go back to your youth, like where it all started?
Great. So yeah, I had a really great childhood. Only child, play sports, everything. It was really, really fun.
What did you enjoy the most? Sports?
Football.
Football.
Yes, I liked it a lot. I played tennis and football, and then I made the decision to continue with football. Yeah, it was good. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then what happened after?
My parents said on a fairly young age, just do what you like. Do what you like, and that made me go to Spain. Which I just shared. And after Spain, I came across this fantastic direct sales company. And I had some great years.
So can you maybe go deeper on like what did you do exactly in Spain? And
in Spain, I was a sport entertainer. So I was giving the aquarobics lessons on the side of the swimming pool. It was like salsa for beginners. I worked with children, with youth, and with adults. Really into sports. I literally broke all my comfort zones. I learned to talk in different languages. It's really working on the emotional intelligence. So much people from all over the world made me learn. I love to learn, but
where does it come from?
Yes, exactly.
No, but where does that come from?
Where does it come from? It comes about, I have a really high interest in people. I really have a high interest in, everything that has to do with the mindset, with the mindset, with the attitude, with the determination. It's like I love to observe people, but I love to, look at, different strengths, weaknesses. I love to help, inspire, motivate people, entertain people as well. So I think that's the driven thing. But also, the urge of going forward. I was the guy who, in the history class in when I was a kid, I was asking, when do we have the, when do we have the lesson about the future? It's kind of those things,
Okay. So you worked in Spain, and tell me about working, so you talked about working for the Spanish boss, or how to say.
Yeah. I worked for a great company, but it was small in the beginning. And they asked me, Dennis, do you like it to go to schools in the Netherlands, to make other students excited about doing their internship in Spain? So I went to the schools, and fast forward 5 years, and there were 250 students that I recruited.
Who came to Spain?
Who came to Spain for 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to all the 7 places where they were placed in 50 different hotels.
It was along the Spanish coast, right?
Yes, near Barcelona. Yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. But the concept worked really good. This Spanish guy was making 17 grand a week or something, but I was like 1,700 a month, and I was like, what's going wrong? Yeah. I want to be, I want to be the entrepreneur as well. It's like not just working to make someone else really successful, but also, I felt the urge to, run my own business.
So the entrepreneur in you came alive.
Yes, it was like a volcano. It was like
I was waiting for his chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so
I decided to go back to the Netherlands, live together with my ex-girlfriend. We spent all our money in a few months. No regrets. No, it was a great time. But I had to work. I had to find something. I really wanted to do something with passion. I went to an open...
Oh, wait. Why? This is an interesting remark.
Yeah.
Can you try to explain where that feeling came from? Like you said, I want to work with passion.
Yes. I think when you do something without a purpose, you just are stuck in the corporate rat race, and I don't want to be in the corporate rat race. I was like, I see these people in the morning, it's just going to work, and traffic jam in the morning, traffic jam in the evening. It's just not the 9-to-5 lifestyle that I wanted for myself. So I decided to do something different, and I thought to myself,
I think for some people, it's okay.
Oh, definitely. I it's like everyone, has a different taste.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you decide how to go about it?
Well, I came across a small advertisement in the newspaper, and I responded on that. I came to the office in the center of Amsterdam, and there was a guy. It was an English guy. He started as backpacker in New Zealand, and he now got the opportunity to open the Netherlands, this international direct sales and direct marketing company. And it gave me the chance to develop myself and to do a 5-stage internal program.
But what kind of role was it?
Direct sales. So I started to sell actually securities for homes in the canals of Amsterdam. It's like the canal houses.
You mean the boats, or
no? The houses at the canal and stuff like that. In the center of Amsterdam. Yeah. So I
Is
sold.
there a special protection for?
Well, no, but it was door to door. It was commission, no cure, no pay.
Okay.
Interesting, really interesting. I learned a lot.
What kind of things did you learn?
Well, basically, I learned all the sales techniques. I learned to, communicate on each level.
How you get to the next stage and stuff like that.
Exactly. I basically learned a lot about mindset, a lot about time management, a lot about effort, what effort actually is. About maintaining my attitude when I heard 70 times in a row, no. So a lot of people don't like to.
I get it, of course. So
Sure,
what kind of takeaways can you share? Like you mentioned, you learned a lot, but can you give a concrete example? For example, if you're starting out as a fresh person doing sales,
Yeah.
what kind of mindset trick do you have, or advice, or?
Well, the most important thing I learned was, actually really basic and really simple: law of averages. Law of averages. If you have a deck of cards, you have 52 cards, you have 4 aces. If you turn around 20 cards and you don't see an ace, then the chance is now 1-8 that the next card is an ace. So what I learned is, like, even if you turned around like 48 cards, the last cards are the aces. So every no brings you closer to the yes if you maintain your attitude during the process of no.
Unless you quit on the 48.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So persistence, maybe?
Persistence. Yeah, definitely. A combination of persistence, attitude. Well, everything, in my opinion, everything is mindset. You take it with you wherever you go.
Yeah, I agree. So what happened after that? So we were talking about you doing those sales. So you accepted the offer, right?
Yes, I was not. There was literally no seniority, so it speeded up my process really, really quick. So within 9 months, I fulfilled a 5-stage program, and I opened my first franchise in the south of Holland. And went really well. Like the first 5 years, I was in Den Bosch, I was in Amsterdam. I opened franchises literally everywhere in Holland. I got awards, for like 5 years
you
in a row.
You were recognized for your work.
Yeah, exactly. Rookie owner of the year, location of the year. 10 months in a row, number 1 of Europe.
What age were you when you started?
I started at 24.
24.
24, yeah.
Okay. And then, going forward, so you're building all those franchises?
Yeah, exactly. To one point, there were 9 franchises, 9 in total, and approximately 150 people. And then 3rd of April, 2014 came.
But what was like, before we go back to that.
Yeah.
9 franchises.
Yeah.
There. How did you see the limit? Like, did you see go to 20 or 50?
Yeah. The name was Infinity.
Yeah.
So,
so what's your nickname?
It's like Infinity. So it was literally, just my best investment are 2: the investment in myself, but the investment in people. Empowering people, giving them the tools, to be successful. That was given to me as well.
Can you share a bit of that? Like, how do you do that?
Well, obviously there's a combination. There's a combination of obviously motivating and empowering people, giving people actually tasks. You see here, around the club, that a lot of people like to play sports in teams, and people want to be a part of the team, and they want to have a function in that team, and they feel important if they have that function in that team. So I was like, empowering people and letting people see what is possible, and showing people the way forward.
So you lead by example? Or?
Yeah, lead by example. What I saw in early stages of my career was the difference between a boss and a leader.
Yeah, I get it. So, but what do you do when someone makes a mistake? Like, what is a typical approach you will do?
What I will do is I don't see a problem as a problem. I see a problem as
an opportunity to learn, right?
Exactly, as an opportunity to learn. And I name it differently as well. I name it as a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I see it as a challenge. Nice. But I'm also making them aware about the 9 things they did really well. So when I come to the challenge, people want to do actually something about it, instead of a boss who just pointing out
the errors.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So now let's get back indeed to the incident.
Yes.
13th of April. 3rd of April, indeed.
2014.
So it happened. You went to the hospital. You went for surgery. You were talking about anesthesia, right?
Yeah, exactly. When I had to take a biopsy from my tumor, in the anesthesia, there was a medicine that I was allergic to, which created hyperactivity, and as well, I got brain bleeding. So
that happened. I mean,
yes.
they applied that to you, and then
yes, and then literally 72 hours, I watched hyperactive towards a clock.
Oh, but the anesthesia also didn't work.
No, the anesthesia worked perfectly, but there was a medicine in the anesthesia which created hyperactivity. But the brain bleeding, just made me imbalanced and everything. So I watched hyperactive for 72 hours to watch a clock. So I'm gonna write a book about it as well. It's coming out next year. It's called the 72-hour Mind Shift. So
sounds interesting.
Right. That 72 hours, it's like, wow, you only have your mind. And it's immense when you have only your mind. What's happening, it's
walk us through
it's
it.
Interesting.
Okay, share some things.
Well, the power of visualizing, the opportunity. I always thought by myself, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to win. And I saw myself lying on the beach. I saw myself, drinking a cocktail with my girlfriend, listening to some nice music. And, everything you heard about people talking about, almost death experiences or in between there, it's actually true. Those 72 hours are mind blowing. But I will share that in my book next year. Yeah, definitely.
But you also had like moments of regrets or, how do you say, sadness?
Well, that's the funny thing. In that actual thing, my whole life came as a dia. It's like I saw the pictures of my life, and there were no regrets. I had no regrets. And I felt that the world was not finished with me.
Because you were certain you would survive.
Yeah, definitely. And I was like, I'm also like seeing my mission to help people, to inspire people, to, give people hope, to really, go for it and think about what can go right, you know?
Instead of looking at the pessimistic side. So So basically you say this was a pivotal moment, yes. I would assume, and it changed a lot of things in your mind. And
Definitely.
So now you're Dennis 2.0. Right?
Yes, you can say that. After
I want to hear about what happened after you start to recover and stuff like that.
Well,
or maybe because he also mentioned before the podcast to me that your chances of surviving was not very high, right? I mean, it was 50-50.
Exactly.
But also the chances of having a handicap after surgery, if you survive, it's pretty high, right?
Yes. It was 50-50, and then from that 50% of living, there was a 40% chance of, being disabled, but being serious disabled, and another 10% of being lightly disabled. And I'm fine now. So I'm literally, medical miracle 0.3%. I experienced 36 chemos, 31 x-rays, 4 operations. And I ended up in 2015, in the beginning of 2015, in a wheelchair. Couldn't speak, couldn't talk. I couldn't vocalize like this, and I couldn't walk. So I had to learn everything. I had to relearn everything. Physiotherapy, speech lessons, everything to come back, in the life.
Was it easy for you having this mindset, but like this? I feel like as if you had this internal fire.
Yes.
It enforced, and I mean you had it before, but now it even
exactly
was higher because of the event.
Yes.
So did you think that made it easier to have the recovery? I mean, it's still difficult, obviously, but
I think my positive mindset is a real big thing.
Yeah, asset.
But asset. But I want to be really, really clear about it. That my mom, in the first place, saved my life. Then my mindset and everything, just put me through the whole chemo, X-ray, operation stuff. It's like, and when I came back into life, like my girlfriend brought me back into life, and my dad and my mom were there, like the whole process. And it's like, so the aftermath with my girlfriend brought me back into life, and I was like so amazed about the amount of love which was shared by my friends and my relatives. People flew in from over the whole world, Yeah. And the big thing is, like, people came in crying, but left laughing. Smiling. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's a combination. It's a combination of luck, love, and having that mindset, that never say die attitude of, like, I'm gonna beat this. Yeah. Can I say this? I'm gonna beat this motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like,
awesome.
I just want to say it.
Yeah. So now, what are your goals? And I mean, obviously, your mindset has changed a lot.
Yes.
Did you also look at, because in the beginning you talked about, you had a lot of money and you spend it on nice things. Mm-hmm. Did you change the perception of these things, like what you value more now?
Yes, I value every day. I'm very grateful. I decided this summer to leave my business, mm-hmm. And to concentrate myself on other things. I came across Aya. Aya's young adults with cancer. Mm-hmm. They asked me to be their ambassador, so I'm going to help them with setting up fundraising. Besides that, speaking, obviously, helping people, inspiring people, coaching people. So I'm busy with what's called Mindset Masterclass.
What's that?
Mindset Masterclass is a project that will come. The website will come within a few months, and we're gonna, help people, inspire people. Literally, a little bit. The philosophy is a little bit from shit to hit. It's like, behind a mountain full of challenges lies a land full of opportunities. A little bit with that mind frame. Thinking about the possibilities and everything.
Yeah, it's a nice. I think it's something nice to look forward to. So looking back at, like, the events, everything that happened, maybe how do you feel about it? Like, everything, what happened?
Well, obviously, I had my moments that I was thinking by myself, okay, why me? Mm-hmm. It's like, why me? As an entrepreneur.
I feel like I want to hear a little bit more about the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, do you have an example of, like, the moments where that was really the most challenging for you?
Yeah. I don't think that the moments in the hospital were that difficult. Bar one, I was giving a right example. I was like, one moment I was like lying in the hospital, and I was like in 6 beds. You know, there were 6 beds. So I woke up in the morning and I looked beside me, and I was seeing a guy there. I'm like, "How are you?" And it's like, "What the fuck? This is a silly question, you know. Everyone has cancer. It's bullshit." Okay, I was like, "Okay, sorry." So I looked across and I saw this older guy. Well, a little bit older guy, and I was like, "Oh, you have any visitors today?" And he was like, "Yeah, maybe if I live." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Why this attitude?
Yeah, no, but you know, it's like normally you walk away from toxic people, but now
you embraced it, sort of.
Yeah, I had no chance. Yeah. So I put in my ears. I visualized, saw myself on the beach.
The beach with a cocktail.
Music, relaxation, sun, water.
That's what helps you.
Positive things. Yeah, definitely. Thinking about positive things, positive self-talk and being grateful about everything. You know, it's like, it's a big thing. It's a big thing.
All right. Last question for you, Dennis. How can people find you on the internet?
People can find me from Dennis de Graaf.
I will put also links on the page.
Yeah, great. On LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. And obviously the website, Mindset Masterclass is coming. And dennisdegraaf.education. So that's a cool thing. I'm busy with different kind of projects. Next year, my book is coming out, 72-hour mind shift. So that will be a great thing.
Cool. So Dennis, thanks a lot for sharing your heartbreaking story, I would say, but it's really inspiring. And I find it really courageous that you just put it out there, you know, and just like your whole mindset. It's extremely nice to see people like you who have gone through this, and then they want to empower other people just to better the world, you know, and I appreciate it a lot.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much. The last thing is, my parents, during my whole process, had a blog. It's dennisdegraaf.info. So you can check that out as well. It's a blog about everything that happened in their eyes. You know, it's like, so it's really cool. Well, Ferdinand, I loved it to be on your show. It's really cool. And wish you all the best, man, with the podcast.
Thank you. Wish you also all the best with your book and your other projects. And let's keep in touch.
Great. Right, let's do that. Cheers, man.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.